नमस्कार प्रमेय न्यूज7 समस्त दर्शक को स्वागत। आज स्वतंत्र साक्षात्कार रे आमे पाइछु एमिति जने व्यक्तित्व जी ऑपरेशन सिंदूर प्रच्छद बटर रही आमर सेना को एभली सहयोग करथिले जहा फल ऑपरेशन सिंदूर विपुल सफलता एवं पाकिस्तान पराजय संभव होइतिला। से होचंती भारत क्रायोजेनिक प्रपल्सन सिस्टम स्रष्टा, डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ स्पेस सेक्रेटरी तथा भारतीय महाकाश गवेषणा केंद्र ISRO चेयरमैन डॉक्टर V नारायण सर। वेलकम एंड नमस्कार। लेट अस स्टार्ट विथ ऑपरेशन सिंदूर and the role of ISRO, sir. Now it has been widely reported that eyes in the sky, the satellite system, helped our armed forces with enough data and coordinates so that they could neutralize the incoming drones and missiles launched from across the border, and also hit precisely on the targets, terrorist launch pads and several other military bases and air bases. Could you please throw some light, more light on this, sir?
You are aware, Indian space program was started by Prameya with a vision of bringing advanced space technology for the benefit of common man of our Bharat. When we talk about benefit to the common man, this benefit is in multiple fields. One is Earth observation. Earth observation is used for food security, water security, weather forecasting, and monitoring of resources, resource management, and so on and so forth. And of course, then communication area, television broadcasting, telecommunication, then navigation area. Disaster warning and mitigation is another important application. And today, for example, we are having connectivity of all trains. Not all, almost 8,000 trains are real-time connected. Also, the vessels, so more than 21,000 plus vessels are connected real-time. And Bharat is having a seashore length of something around 11,500 kilometers seashore length. Yeah. Also, the northern part of the India, so many borders with other countries. And our satellites are meant for ensuring the happiness of the citizens, ensuring effective utilization of the resources available in the country for the citizens, also ensuring safety and security for the citizen. And we have done whatever best possible and whatever required for our nation during this very critical phase. And really, I am extremely happy that as a country, as a Bharat, we have done outstanding work. And solely the Indian space program, Indian space assets are also effectively utilized for ensuring safety and security of every citizen of this country during this very critical phase.
Indeed, sir. It has been quite evident during Operation Sindoor how effectively the inputs from ISRO satellites helped our armed forces. Could you please explain more about the regional navigation system, NAVIX?
Right now we are having a couple of satellites in the orbit. We have got approval for 3 more satellites.
Sir.
NAVIC 0, 3, 4 and 5 we have got. In fact, NAVIC 3 is going to be launched somewhere in October. And every 4 months we are planning to place 1 more satellite. And this is phase 2 of the navigation satellite. And phase 3 more satellites we are written down the project and we are going through the approval cycle.
Sure.
And another important thing is when you talk about the navigation satellite, one of the very, very important and critical item is atomic clock. And earlier we were importing the atomic clock from other countries. And whatever even imported atomic clock, couple of atomic clocks had setbacks in the orbit. Now we have put a system we are indigenously making. In fact, last NAVIC satellite, there were 3 atomic clocks which were imported atomic clocks, and one of our atomic clock was put. Similarly, NAVIC 01 also similar thing was done. And I am extremely happy to report that the atomic clock, indigenous atomic clock, 2 clocks which are right now in the orbit is performing extremely well. And I had a review with my colleagues on this atomic clock area. Right now we have given a direction and guideline. At the earliest opportunity, even though we have imported items in the hand, we want to have a satellite only with indigenous atomic clock. At least in the second series, NAVIC 3, 4, 5, 5th satellite, I have given a direction. But of course, this will be executed based on the performance of our atomic clock in the orbit.
Sure.
But this is the direction and guideline we have taken. Now, towards that, number one, increasing the production capability of the indigenous clock, that we have initiated the action, and then we are going ahead in that direction.
Sir, how will this system actually enhance our operation in different fields? Will you be at par with, say, US GPS or GLONASS,
No, we will
Russia,
come.
BUDU?
No, we will be. See, when you are talking about the using others' data, I don't think when there is a strategic needs, we can totally rely on any other country.
Exactly.
So, in that aspect, we are very clear. We should have got our indigenous system, and towards that, every direction we are moving. So, at one point of time, our country should become a developed country. And when you become a developed country and declare that, we cannot too much depend on other countries. So,
That's
towards
true.
that, I think Indians are doing great job, and especially I can comment about my colleagues. I think everybody, I can say, self-actualized characters. Nobody needs to tell what you have to do, and everybody self-motivated, self-actualized team. I am very extremely happy. Whatever is required for our country in terms of space program, my team is capable and knowledgeable and enthusiastic to do the things.
That's great, sir. Now, the May 18 failure of PSLV C61 and the loss of the satellite EOS-9, how much setback it is to our security?
No, it is not the satellite is supposed to be a civilian satellite. Civilian satellite. Okay, doesn't matter, but surely it is a small setback for us.
Sure.
In the sense, PSLV is an operational vehicle, and we were expecting a 100% performance. It is a 4-stage vehicle. The first stage is a solid propulsion system, second stage is a liquid propulsion, third is again solid, fourth is liquid. Now, first 2 stages perfectly worked.
Sir.
And third stage, solid propulsion system, also worked in the initial phase. Almost 2/3 of its functional time, it worked as expected. But abruptly, we saw a chamber pressure fall, indicating some weakness. That and one more important point is, after that pressure fall also, when the required time came, 4th stage started performing as expected. But during this 1/3 operation time, when the thrust was less, without proper required chamber pressure, the control of the vehicle could not be done the way it is supposed to be done. Without thrust, we cannot control, because it is having its own control system. And then 4th stage was trying to do the control, but then unfortunately the capability of 4th stage is very less. By the time lot of error was there, and there was a setback for us. But then in the space system, to be frank, I am little got dull. But the space system is like this. We don't consider anything as a failure.
Sure.
And whenever there is a setback, we use that as an opportunity to learn more and strengthen our system. In fact, I want to tell one of our former chairman, Dr. Radhakrishnan, who is the student of Acharya sir, who is here. And when he was the chairman, we had a GSLV launch with indigenous cryo. There was a failure. And at that time I was occupying key role in that program. And when he came, and he told one point, I have written down in my diary also. What he told was, Narayanan, when a child start walking, we are very happy if the child without falling, if it walks and start walking faster and start running, we are very happy. But then it is always not expected like that. Child will fall, and when a child fall, it should not simply sit and cry as a coward. It should not simply sit and cry. So you fall and get up and walk fast, and you will succeed. So thereby in ISRO system we never consider anything as a failure. Even though I was little unhappy in the sense we expected when we will become unhappy. I expected a 100% perfect mission, but then unfortunately mission could not be accomplished. But then the entire piece of data my team is going through systematically, thoroughly, and we are going to come out of the problem, and the national level committee is also going to address. I have got great confidence on ISRO team. They will use this as an opportunity to study entire thing and strengthen the system. So,
and their morale is high also.
Morale is really high. Say in a system like this, yes, we could not accomplish, but that is not the end of the story. PSLV 63rd vehicle, till today we have got 3 setbacks, and the percentage of the reliability of the vehicle is very high. And anyhow we are studying, we will address, and I have ensured the morale of the employees are high. Yes, there is a setback, so okay. No, we are feeling unhappy about it. It's not that we are, but then we have to come back at the earliest.
As opposed to this, but you achieved something unique in April when the SpadeX program succeeded. Could you please elaborate a bit on that?
Say the SpadeX, first of all let me explain why the docking experiments. The docking is essentially required when you talk about huge satellites being lifted. For example, we are going to build a space station. It is a 52 ton is the mass of the space station. So you cannot build a rocket to lift the entire 52 tons. We are planning to lift 5 modules, individually 5 modules we are going to lift, and we are going to assemble in the space. And then the assembly is nothing but docking, soft docking.
The lift will take simultaneously?
Not simultaneously, separately. One module will go rotate in the orbit, then second module will go after some time, and it has to be docked in the space. Now another important application I will tell you, right now government has approved the Chandrayaan 4 program.
Sure.
And Chandrayaan 3 mission, we had a 4000 kg satellite. And our launch vehicle today the capabilities, we can take 4200 kg to GTO, Geo Transfer Orbit we can take. So Chandrayaan 3 was lifted by Mark 3 vehicle. Now Chandrayaan 4 is a 9600 kg satellite, because it has to land on the moon, bring the sample back. It's a 9600 kg. So we don't have a rocket for that, and we need not have a rocket also for such a huge payload. And what we are planning is we are going to take this in 2 separate rockets, 4800 kg, and we are going to dock in the space. Not only docking, after docking it has to go to the moon's orbit, and a portion has to undock, rather detach, and land on the moon, take the sample. After taking the sample, there will be 2 parts which will land on the moon. There is a lander, then there is a sample return module, and the sample return module has to get separated, again come back and dock. After docking, entire things has to come towards the moon surface, and the module, whatever is supposed to bring the sample, that alone has to separate and it has to come. That means, if my memory is correct, 2 times docking and 3 times undocking is required to accomplish that. So we have to demonstrate that technology. But that technology is not that simple. In the sense, suppose in road there are 2 buses or 2 cars are going with 100 km/h speed, and if you have to mechanically assemble when they are moving, when they are stationary we can assemble. When they are moving with 100 km/h, if you have to dock or rather assemble without hitting each other with a set of, that too when drivers are there, one scenario, without drivers, with a set of algorithm, cameras and this one propulsion system, I think you can visualize that complexity. Here in the space, 20,000 to 40,000, 20,000 to 30,000 km/h, the satellites will be rotating, and then this has to be docked. And in fact, we started the activity on January 16th itself. 2 satellites, each 200 kg, was rotating with a velocity of 28,400 km/h. Of course, relative velocity was less, and we kept a gap of something around 10 kilometers. Then there is a set of cameras. There is a propulsion system on board the system, and there is set of computer logics, set of algorithms, and there are set of sensors for locating exact location, and in 3-dimensionally everything has to be assessed and automatically this has to come and get docked. And in fact, I will tell you, first time when we were trying to dock, we faced couple of problems, but we were sure that it should not hit and damage, and we could not succeed once or twice. Then on 16th January, we could succeed. So it took 2-3 attempts to make it successful that day. Then on, if my memory is correct, after a month we undocked. We had the opportunity for docking and undocking comes not daily. In a month, some time only we get that opportunity because of the power generation requirement, everything. And second time, when we were trying to dock, it was like a child play. In fact, I was informed my colleagues, sir, we are going to dock. Then I told, don't wait for me, go ahead. Before I went, they have successfully docked like a child play. So that is one. Second thing is, we plan to dock twice. And we have also done one experiment, the circumnavigation. Circumnavigation, one satellite is there, second satellite you take it around and monitor. Initially we did manually. Manually means you have to be careful because close distance you cannot go. Close distance, suppose you hit, there will be a problem. So lot of distance we kept. Second attempt we put automatically and bring into closer proximity. Now today I am happy to report to the audience that we accounted each satellite 5 kg of propellant for this purpose. Because there are thrusters required. And we have consumed only 50%. With that, we have completely accomplished the mission. Now 50% fuel is there. Now we are writing down what are all the further experiments we can do. Because here multiple times you have to do and gain experience and generate data, and without any problem you have to do. So that we are going to generate the data. So I am so satisfied that this experiment is a grand successful experiment. And India is one among 4 countries established or having this capability. That is very, very important. If it is so simple, every country will do.
Right.
So it is the fact only we are one among 4. Probably, I don't know, I have effectively communicated, I don't know.
No, absolutely, sir, absolutely. Now, you have a host program coming up, launch of Gaganyaan, then Chandrayaan-4, then our own space station. Please enlighten our viewers the progress on these fronts and how we are going to achieve it, by what timeline.
Let me first talk about Gaganyaan program. Gaganyaan program, we have to take our own Gaganyatri to a 400 kilometer orbit, and then we have to keep safely and bring them back safely. This is the project, and this is done by, for this lot of development has to take place. One is human rating of rocket.
Right.
Simple term if I tell to the viewers, human rating means don't get confused with the complex words. It is improve the margin of all the rocket parts, improve the margin, structural margin, thermal margin, aerodynamic margin, improve the margin. Second, wherever possible, bring redundancy and thereby improve the reliability of the launch vehicle. That is what is called the human rating. And also, in our expendable vehicle, we don't monitor all the parameters. Here, we have to have a health monitoring system in real time. It has to automatically monitor, because if anything happens to the rocket, we have to save our things. And then this development. Next one is the module in which the people are going to be there. It is a pressurized compartment, and that is a new development. Then environmental control and safety system, because you know the aircraft, when you travel, inside we have to have required pressure, temperature, humidity.
Yes.
Similar thing has to be maintained here. You have to have required temperature, relative humidity, partial pressure of oxygen, CO2 has to be contained to some level, and all these things we call it as a environmental control and safety system. Then that system is a totally new development. Something around 600-700 control, fluid control components are involved in that game, and everything has to be done in automated way. It is not that you operate here and there, and it has to be done in automated way. Next development is, when the human beings are in the vehicle, yes, they have gone inside. Due to some reason, if the rocket is malfunctioning, and we cannot lose our Gaganyatris, so they have to be saved. So for that, we have a system called crew escape system. That is, the entire health monitoring system will monitor, and anything going wrong, immediately this command will be given, the crew will be taken almost 1 or 2 kilometers away, they will be saved. So this development. And the landing, final landing is by a set of parachutes, 9 parachutes which is coming from Agra. And then there are systems, human-centric products, their food, waste management, so many things has to be done. Their shoot. So all the work, it is a national project by itself. It is, and again, recovery of the crew. We have to depend on Air Force team, Navy team, and it's a national project and lot of development work is going on. Right now the status is, we are going ahead with the uncrewed mission. First mission this year we are going to accomplish. And then 2 more uncrewed mission followed by the crewed mission. We are targeting 27 first quarter. And the same way, the different programs are approved. Honorable Prime Minister has approved different programs, and like Venus Orbiter mission, Mars Lander mission, and then Chandrayaan 5, then Bharat Andhariksha Station. We are going to build our own space station. And all these things are to have a leadership role and to enable our country to become a developed country. And I am confident the type of vision Honorable Prime Minister Modi ji has given as the Minister of Space, really we are going to be in par with any other developed countries by 2040 time frame, 2040-45 time frame. Surely before we celebrate 100 years of independence, we will be in par. In fact, we are also having a program. Honorable Prime Minister has told us to study taking man to moon and bring them back safely. That program also on, we are working, and thereby we will be in par with any other countries for making the vision of Honorable Prime Minister to make this country as a developed country before we celebrate 100 years of independence.
Sir, you have a host of associates in startups and other institutions. Odisha too figure in that list. For example, you have been to CTTC today. It has been an associate of ISRO for the last 30 years or so. Now, how do you see the space interest growing in Odisha, and which are the institutions you are going to tie up?
Actually, I will tell you, for our space program, 450 industries are supporting, and CTC Bhubaneswar is a key partner in that, one among 450. And in fact, 2 weeks back, and another one is academia contribution. It is the national space program is not a single man work. It's a teamwork with the participation of academia, participation of industrial partners, and in fact, I want to, I am very happy to inform that 2 weeks back we have started the incubation center in NIT Rourkela, which is in Odia, Odisha.
Yes.
And we are connecting so many colleges. And say for me, as a chairman of or secretary of the Department of Space, the entire country, the support has to come. Not one region, one sector, everybody has to support. And whoever is really coming, and we are going to handhold any industries, let it be from Andhra, Tamil Nadu or Telugu, doesn't matter. Whoever is, we are going to handhold them. And slowly from CTTC Bhubaneswar, lot of things they have done, and 30 years they are contributing, and the days to come. It is not only CTTC, any startup companies are coming also will be in a position to handhold and take forward, because now say when we started the space program, even people are questioning why it is required for this country, but today it has become a necessity to ensure safety security, to ensure food security, to ensure water security, in order to monitor our resources, in order to monitor our urban development, in order to understand the flood situation in the country, in order to understand the forest fire, in order to have navigation applications, and it has become a mandate requirement. And towards that, actually the ISRO alone cannot contribute. It's not adequate. ISRO's contribute. So I have to thank Honorable Prime Minister with his vision. He has put a space sector reform. So private sector, whoever is interested to come, we are going to handhold them. My responsibility given to me is very clear. Increase, improve the space ecosystem in the country. Not only through ISRO, through the private sector, academia, startup companies. That's what we are doing, and it is a mandate requirement.
And your final message to the space savvy students, scholars of Odisha?
Say, our Honorable Prime Minister used to make one statement. There should not be any space between space and common man of this country. That I am very clear. There was a time space means it is only for elite group of people. It is not true. Even for example, ATM has to work, the telecommunication system has to work, and say we have to bridge the gap. And space is, in fact, I want to tell, science and technology growth has to happen in a big way. Not only space, missile development, atomic energy area, and biotechnology area. The health, say, a country, if it has to become a developed country, it has to grow in multiple directions. Infrastructure development, everything. My message to the student is there are a lot of opportunities in the space area. Directly somebody can join, but that is limited number of positions, and somebody can start their own companies. But what my message is, the success of Indian space program because of a couple of reasons. One is it is because of teamwork, and we always believe in letter and spirit. The organization and the country is above individuals. Individuals are not above country and this one. And you also should feel so. And when you study and come up, you should have got a great broad mind, and you should have got the really good human being quality should come within you. Academically you should be good, no doubt, but then you should have got the mentality to take care of your parents, take care of your this one. If somebody is coming from the village, yes, you have grown, you should understand what is happening in the village, you also should help them, and you should ensure the country is becoming a developed country. Of course, individual growth, personal, professional required. And another important thing is, when we are going towards the development, the personal and professional, there should be equal things. One should not too much compromise personal things for professional growth, and vice versa. In fact, our generation, to be very open and frank, we have little bit compromised on the personal life for the professional thing. And for the countries, yes, at that point of time that is the requirement, but today one has to have a balanced thing. And if I put in Tamil, there is a Tirukural that says, Vella Tanedu Malarnitam, Mandardam Ulla Tanedu Uyaru. Meaning is very simple. The lotus in a pond, the stem length of the lotus depending upon the height of the water. If the height of the water is more, stem length will go more, and it will go up to the bottom. True. Same way, the individual growth is depending upon your heart only. If your heart is good enough, and your growth is proportionate to that. So, my message, not only to the youngsters from Odisha, to the entire youngsters of the country is, grow as a good human being, have a balanced personal and professional life, and contribute for making this country as a developed country before we celebrate 100 years of independence, based on the vision of our Honorable Prime Minister Modi ji.
That's a great concluding words, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, viewers. Thank you.
आम सहित थिले ISRO अध्यक्ष डॉक्टर बी नारायण। भारतर महाकाश अभियान कौन रहिबो आ महाकाश संपर्क रे ISRO रो विजन कौन से संपर्क से विस्तृत विवरण देइचंते हमको। ता सहित आमर युव गोष्ठी को एक अति विशिष्ट वार्ता दे जाइचंती। जने भल वैज्ञानिक होगा कहले प्रथम जने भल मनीष होगा पड़िबो। मनीषर आवश्यकता एवं देशर आवश्यकता को ऊपर रखी निजर वैज्ञानिक बुद्धि को विनियोग कले निजर पर्सनल विकास घटिबो, देशर भी विकास घटिबो। कार्यक्रम को एठी रखुछु। नमस्कार।